If you had you been born in the right time, and you had an option, like you could choose, it's not just automatic like enlistment, like it would be. Would you have fought in World War II?
No.
At least you're honest.
Well, when I was watching Band of Brothers, there was just one old fart who thanked him for his cervix, but he was like, back in Kansas City, you know, if you didn't sign up for the war, you were sad. There were 3 or 4 guys I knew committed suicide because they were deemed unfit for enlistment. It's like,
that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, I was like, that's I can understand the peer pressure and all that to enlist, totally.
Yeah.
That like it was actually a just war, which is pretty rare. But
yes.
The thing is that the thought of an afterlife was a lot more pervasive back then. So I think everyone, you know, I mean, they didn't want to die, but they were at least okay with the thought that, you know, I got something after this. I got a backup plan. I'm not 100% on that. So I'm not going to throw my life away at 18 years old to go die in a foxhole. Cold and wet.
And miserable.
Miserable, starving. Just doesn't appeal to me. If there was a 100% guarantee that I wouldn't die, then yeah, I would do it. But of course, it's war, so yeah, no.
No guarantees in war. Only that it's.
What about you?
Only that it's gonna suck. Oh hell yeah!
Well, you were in the Marines, but you never even saw action, you little bitch.
I didn't, but it was one of those things that
thank you for your cervix, crunching those numbers, finding out how many rolls of toilet paper that our good armed forces over in Oahu needed. There would have been many a crusty butthole were it not for Spurgle's cervix.
Hey, the one contract I knew I worked on, it was for getting rid of pigeons in Guam.
Wow.
You like that? Yeah, I know, right?
some high-level government contracts that Spurgle worked on. Gee. That fucking...
Yeah, they had too many pigeons in Guam. They had to contract out for pigeon eradication.
Speaking of pigeons, I thought it was really fucking funny. I was at the Natural History Museum last week, and one of the chief things I remember learning on my sojourn there was I went to the mineral section of the Natural History Museum, and they had a display case full of rubies, and they said that a ruby is classified as pigeon blood red if it's a truly precious ruby. I'm like, what an oddly specific hue of red.
Right.
It's like, why specifically pigeons? Why didn't they just say blood red? So I thought that was a treat.
That is weird.
It was actually pretty coincidental because I saw the movie Uncut Gems immediately after I went to the mineral exhibit at the Natural History Museum, which I recommend.
There actually is about uncut gems?
Well, yeah, that's sort of
just like
that's sort of the MacGuffin in the plot.
Oh, okay.
It's like
it's one of my favorite words.
I like McMuffin more.
That's not a film trope.
No, but speaking of the media and McMuffins, there was one shoot I was on where
they served McDonald's.
They served. It was just a glorious day. I mean, okay. So to give you some frame of reference here, if I haven't already said it, I work as an extra on some TV shows from time to time.
You're like Ricky Gervais.
Exactly.
That's mental. Pretty good.
Yeah. Anyways, to give you a frame of reference in terms of the sheer scale of food, or the quality rather, of the food that we get, we get roasted pork tenderloin to like.
You're gonna say duck.
Yeah, not duck's a little much, but yeah, roasted pork tenderloin, flayed rooster, fucking, like full salad bar, tiramisu, that kind of shit. Usually.
Sure.
But
usually.
I was on a show that Disney recently took over. And
those fuckers.
Yeah. We all know Disney didn't get to become the most rich and powerful conglomerate in entertainment by giving people fucking actual food. So for breakfast, we were given Egg McMuffins, which we couldn't eat because we were rushed immediately onto set.
No time to eat.
Yeah. Here's food. No time to eat it. Go. We just have to legally show you it so we don't get sued.
We offer them food.
Yeah. And then quickly take it away. So it was Egg McMuffins for breakfast. And then once lunchtime came around, they were like, okay, you can either go to the studio commissary and pay for it, or here is a lovely tray of Chez Mix, otherwise known as Chex Mix to us Americans. It was just a party tray of Chex Mix, and they were like,
"That's it?
That was it." And water. Chex Mix and water. And then for dinner was lukewarm hot dogs. And I know that
yum.
It wasn't just the extras being fucked over, because I saw the director of photography chowing down on a lukewarm hot dog in the middle of shooting. So I know they were bleeding in the trenches right alongside us.
That's nice.
Yeah. in a way, I guess. But
they're not just fucking over the little man. They're fucking over everybody.
Yeah. God bless the mouse. What was even greater was that the veggie dogs were pretty much eaten immediately. So the remaining vegetarians just had cold hot dog buns with macaroni salad on top. It's like, sounds wow, delicious. That's like fucking prison food right there. That's some good old fashioned Midwestern cooking. I'm sure as a man from Ohio, you would know.
Yeah, goulash and hot dogs.
Goulash.
Mom loved making goulash. God knows why.
With Skittles?
No, not with Skittles.
American goulash.
That's good, though. I'll have to try that sometime.
Skittles and a smidge of dog toe.
My mom was a terrible cook, but not because of her inventiveness, just because of her blandness. The one thing I always tell everybody, like the sign that my mom was a bad cook, she would make hamburger helper like 3 to 4 times a week, and the way that she would prepare the hamburger was by boiling it.
Oh, why? It's healthier.
I don't know why. She's like, it's the way I know how to cook it.
It's so brain dead, though. It takes more time and effort to boil water and then to put it in to make it taste bad than to simply just stick it in a fucking frying pan.
Oh, I know.
I don't get that. Was your mom British in another life? I feel like that's really the only explanation.
I mean, the last name is so we've got the British roots.
Boiled meat and jams. Jellied pig intestines and cod on a
boiled eel
stick. And, yeah, eel pies. Ugh, boiled hamburger helper. That sounds absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible. And like I said, we'd have that 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, she like almost never spiced her food. I think the one spice she knew was she didn't do that either. She didn't even put paprika on her deviled eggs.
Paprika? The fuck is that?
Oregano.
That looks like marijuana to me. You know, one thing I've always sort of wondered, though, is it really just because Midwesterners actually just have incredibly sensitive, developed taste buds, not numbed by this disgusting European cooking. That they have such pure taste buds that they don't need to season it. They taste all of the flavors that flow out of the boiled hamburger helper.
I'll tell you outright no.
There might be some. Maybe they're all super tasters.
I do not have a refined palate, and I blame my mother.
Miss Burgle Super Taster tastes more than we know. Everything has a flavor. Some flavors must go.
Do you still deny that you're a super taster?
Yeah.
You still don't think it's true?
No, I would have more of a sweet tooth if I did.
Well, you don't have that type of super taster. You just have stronger bitter. Oh, wrong button.
I wouldn't say that means I'm a super taster. I'm just more averse to bitter.
Because you're a super taster.
No, because I haven't numbed my bitter taste buds by the overconsumption of beer.
You make beer sound like a bad thing.
I just never got into beer. I don't know if I ever will. Maybe once I hit second puberty or something.
Second puberty.
My fourth row of teeth finally growing.
You get your wisdom teeth, your super wisdom teeth.
But yeah, I don't understand the appeal personally. I mean, I know people fucking like it. There's billions of dollars in the beer industry for a reason. It's just
I like certain beers.
Just tight. It's
not
for
all
me.
beer.
I just drink it if it's available and I'm trying to get drunk.
Yeah, that's what most people do. I don't drink beer to get drunk. I drink beer to drink beer.
I want my money back.